What is up, y'all? Welcome back. 100 grain Xtreme Defender 400 Legend. Wow, this should be a good one. As I said, 100 grain Xtreme Defender from Lehigh Defense. This is a hand load for the 400 Legend. We have the Bear Creek Arsenal upper on the Palmetto State Armory lower, and we're going to see what happens in three 20-inch clear ballistics 10% gel blocks for a total of 60 inches of gel. We're going to cut straight to the chase here. You guys know how these tests go. We hand load 400 Legend with projectiles from handguns and see what happens. There's not a lot of good load data. There's not a lot of good actual loaded ammunition for 400 Legend yet. There's a couple. There's maybe about 5 or 6 on the market right now. Nothing super out of the ordinary, but the hand-loaded handgun bullets seem to do very well. Some of them come apart like crazy, but this is a solid copper. Lehigh pretty much focuses on solid copper projectiles, and they're amazing when you push them at high speeds. In something like 400 Legend, I'm expecting some extreme velocity, therefore extreme foot pounds, therefore extreme impact on these gel blocks. I don't know how deep we're going to get today. Solid copper is very penetrative, but we have the Defender version here, and the flutes are a little bit deeper. They create a little bit more of a snowplow effect. It might slow it down a little bit, but I'm expecting these gel blocks, at least one of them, to do some flipping and flopping. Again, 100 grains, that's going to go quick. Let's take 1 or 2 shots on the paper over there that I have set up with just the regular PowerPoints, just to see my point of aim, point of impact. Hopefully it translates out to something close to this, because I only have one of these loaded up. All right, accuracy testing here real quick, just to make sure we hit the gel block where we want to. We fed properly with a PowerPoint 215 grain factory loading from Winchester. And good enough for what we're going to do. We loaded a second one. Might as well take another shot. That works. So there's the Xtreme Defender projectile that you would normally see in a 40 Smith & Wesson or 10mm case. We do have it next to a 40 Smith & Wesson empty case right now, just so you can see the difference in case volume compared to a 400 Legend. Again, we're going to be pushing this thing a lot faster than it's used to going. All right, we have 2 chronographs set up. We have a Caldwell downrange and a Garmin over here. Hopefully we get 2 readings. We are about 30 feet off that target or gel block. We sent one home. It actually fed. I hope it stayed together properly. And yes, it did. I just had to double check that. All right, here she goes. Yep, she made her jiggle. I think that was a good hit, and that was a good flip we had too. 3,083.9 feet per second on the Garmin. I see 2,976 down there on the Caldwell. Let's go take a look at that. This should be good. All right, 2976 on the Caldwell. And that is how we found our victim gel block laying right there. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Anytime a gel block flips, it's a good day at the Theturkeysopinion range. That means a lot of foot-pounds of energy got delivered. And that's a nice clean gel block. We're seeing a good wound channel through that thing. Let me get it straightened up. Let's get the tape on it and let's see what we got. All right, let's admit this is a very pretty wound channel here. We got a good block to work with. It's not too used, but that's very good looking. We're used to seeing handgun bullets that don't do anywhere near this type of damage, or we see something like rifle bullets that explode early on impact up there, but don't do so well down here. This is very consistent, very smooth for the most part all the way through. It twists and turns, so you'll see different angles of it between the top and the bottom, but wow, it does its job all the way up until about 19 inches with that big wound channel, and then slips out of the first block, gets into the next one. That's just an artifact in the block right there down at the bottom from a different test, but you can see it did something right there. It had another wound channel and then landed there at about 28 inches. It's sitting at about 28 inches. It has a bounce back though from at least 28.5, possibly 29. And it is facing forward. That is a pretty cool wound track that it has, because it has that bubble right there behind it. It just did a little extra And getting up a little bit closer, the sunlight's hitting it funny from the back, but that actually gives you a cool little perspective. You can see that's pretty darn good on the permanent side of things, and the temporary, as you saw in the slow motion, is no joke. Looking from the top, it's not that much different. You can kind of see it mirrored right there. I'm not going to climb up on the top because actually it looks terrible in the sunlight that way, but you get the idea. Same view, or same thing, just different view. Let's get this thing pulled out and take a look. All right, we got her dug out, and as expected, barely any deformity at all. There may be just a little bit of deformity here at the screwdriver tip, just a tiny little bit, but nothing else to the main body of the projectile other than the marks from the rifling. The back is kind of concave right there, and our shell casing looks good. Our primer hit is good, and there is no signs of overpressure in my opinion. Everything went well. I'm not going to measure it because it's going to stay 40 caliber, but I will weigh it, and it is staying 100.2 grains. I think all I have to do is push that right back in there with some powder, and we're good to go. Anyway, this out of there is really cool. There's the information. Use it as you see fit. Hope you enjoyed this test. Make sure you're subscribed for more. Thank you for watching this test, and until we see you next time, stay safe, have fun, and keep on shooting.